Hello, welcome to Game 4 of Medium Games. jtrupiano is playing SSounder. Jay is up 2-1. Jay won the first two, SSounder won the third. Now we're on Game 4, so we'll see if SSounder can keep the momentum going. This looks like a big engine kingdom. We've got a bunch of things that support that. The only trashing is in Hideout, which is a little bit awkward, but it's nicer with the shelters, certainly. So I think we're going to want to do Hideout stuff. I would even consider opening like Hideout Shantytown, as awkward as that is. Hideout will give you a curse if you trash the overgrown estate, but it's probably worth it. Something like Hideout Shantytown, try to get horse traders and like a silver second shuffle, thin a little bit. Maybe you hit 5 with the Hideout Shantytown. Opening it doesn't seem impossible, especially if you're trashing the overgrown estate. First time is probably stables with that combination, although I could be talked into Rabble, given that you've got 3 villages in that deck already. Horse traders will be nice for the plus buy. If they play the Rabble, then you can get a little bit of draw with horse traders. Crop rotation probably won't come into play, given that we have shelters. But then we can load up on Blessed Villages and Hunting Grounds for draw, stables, Rabble. Kind of depends on what your price points are and what your deck consistency is when you start hitting 5. Horse traders will be nice as well. I don't think Crypt is going to get any play here, but we kind of do want to use golds for our payload. Mostly, like a little bit of golds, mostly golds, a little bit of horse traders and silver. So, potentially Crypt if you spike in early 5. But I think mostly we use stables to discard coppers and draw. A little bit of a sad 5-2 here, I think. I think I'd probably go Native Village Stables. Pilgrimage seems to be very important on this kingdom in your build. So if you're opening, like I think, Shantytown Hideout, Shantytown is guaranteed in that build to draw 2. Is worth noting. If you draw it with either of the other cards, you just play them first, meaning that it's more likely to get to 5. So yeah, I think I want to be using Pilgrimage fairly often, especially if I'm playing, Blessed Village, Rabble, Caravan during my turn. I didn't really mention Caravan, but you probably get a couple. And then you play Horse Traders for buy, and you've got your normal, you buy something. So you've got 9, right? You buy Horse Traders and silver and 4 coppers. You buy like a stables, and then you Pilgrimage to gain a Blessed Village, a Caravan, a Rabble, something like that. Those all seem quite nice. Crypt can save a stables, but I don't think we're playing with a ton of stables. I just like stables early over Rabble. I think mostly we'll be playing with Rabble or Hunting Grounds draw. So Jay does get the Native Village. Native Village makes sense to me. And the stables also make sense, so I like that opening. I think the Crypt is a little bit too greedy there. You've got to hope to draw it with 4 coppers, turn 4 or 3 or 4. It's tough. You draw it with Overgrown Estate, Necropolis, 2 coppers, and you're just really sad. And I think Jay now needs to start in the hideouts. Let's see. SSounder saw all 3 of their coppers, so they knew this card was a hovel. I think I would have trashed a copper there, knowing that the bottom card is a hovel and it's not going to let me hit 5. River's Gift is nice, but the Blessed Village is not doing a lot. They've already got 2 villages in a deck, which only has 1 terminal. Jay is able to set aside a hovel. I assume they're going to trash the Necro here. Necro's not doing very much. They've got 2 villages already, no terminals. Again, because you have the 2 villages, no terminals, Shantytown is basically a laboratory at this point of the game. Similar, like if you're playing Horse Traders as your second to last card, to discard 2, you have to discard 2 actions. You play Shantytown and draw them back up or something. Like, I'm pretty happy to do that. Here, SSounder, I think, needs to add 1 more draw card, so like a stables here, and then get a Horse Traders next turn. But I can be convinced that Horse Traders this turn is right. You want to add money and you want to add buys, so you can start to buy 2 things. Even with 7, I'd feel pretty comfortable buying a 4 and a Shantytown. the hunting grounds. That feels a little bit greedy too. Drawing the deck doesn't seem like it does that much. Doesn't Rabble attack kind of suck against shelters decks? Depends on, like, yes, but they didn't buy a Rabble for the attack. They bought a Rabble because it's a draw card, and it draws 3. And Stables really only draws 2. I mean, you basically draw 3 and then you lose a coin. So you're not really buying Rabble for the attack. You're buying it for the Smithy effect. I think you always take Hunting Grounds over a Rabble here if you have the choice. But if you only have 5, then obviously you don't have that choice. So SSounder now needs villages, I guess. They have 2 terminal draw cards. Do they still have their Necropolis? I do not believe they do. They do still have their Necropolis. So they've got 3 villages. I think this wants to be a Horse Traders. Horse Traders gives them +buy, gives them coins, all the reasons. I think Jay should draw now. Sorry, I think Jay should pick up with Native Village to draw the hovel so they can trash it. As copper is the most likely thing to draw, and you really want to hit 5. So now they have to trash a copper, so they're only going to hit 4 this turn. If they picked up with the Native Village and trashed the hovel, they would have hit 5. So we are seeing here, SSounder is going to be able to draw a deck. This is why I really wish they had bought that Horse Traders instead of this Blessed Village. If you imagine that Blessed Village that we just drew, which we bought last turn, was a Horse Traders, then we hit, 10 and 2 buys, as opposed to 8 and 1 buy. We do leave a copper on top of the deck, but that's not the end of the world. I'm pretty sure we just draw here with Stables first. Now we can pick up with Hideout, trash. Sorry, we need to pick up with Native Village and trash one of these. Like trash the Evergreen Estate. Then we can set aside the curse with Native Village, discard 2, and have more money. As I want to pick up with Native Village here, so I can discard the 2 shelters to get to 8. And then you can buy, like, Shantytown, Stables, perhaps. Could be Shantytown Rabble. I'm not quite sure what they're thinking about here. They could trash the Native Village, that's true, and just leave the 2 shelters stranded forever. I just need food for my hideouts, and I need stuff for my Horse Traders to discard, so that doesn't seem super worth it to me. I guess they still owe a trash to Hideout, so they're only going to hit 7 here if they pick up with Native Village. And if they trash a copper and then set aside with Native Village and discard, they're only going to hit 5, which does not enable them to add 2 pieces to the deck. So I really strongly think they should have picked up with Native Village first, and trash the Evergreen Estate with the Hideout to draw this last card, which should be a copper. And then they could discard Copper Hovel and hit 7, which could be like, Horse Traders, Shantytown, something like that. Okay, they do trash the. I don't really understand the trashing of the Native Village, but they must have something in mind that I'm not seeing. Both these players have, in the game with all the Seers, I think they both neglected payload in favor of draw. I'm slightly worried that they're both doing that here a little bit. They added Horse Traders a little bit later than I would have wanted. You really want to be adding coins and buy before you're drawing deck and having to spend 10 on it. But, it's difficult to criticize for building a good engine that can draw deck every turn. So again, the 6 is awkward. Like, honestly, the best card for Jay's deck feels like it's gold right now. You buy a gold here. I could also believe like Shanty silver. Again, you've got enough space. You'll be able to play the Shanty Town as a lost city here, and in almost every case. And silver adds 1 more money. The alternative is just like a gold. It adds 3 more money to your deck. Decent chance to hit 10 next turn, or 9. And if you hit 9, you can buy like 1 Blessed Village, 1 Rabble, or 1 Blessed Village, 1 Stables, and then something like that. Or honestly, more likely like a Stables and a Pilgrimage, I think is probably where you want to be on that 4. So buy it, and then the next turn you can Pilgrimage and gain a village, a draw card, and a payload card for 4. Jay's certainly having a long think here. To me, the point in this turn when I would have stopped and thought is when I played the Hideout. Before I clicked on the Hideout, I would have thought for quite a while about what I wanted to do with the turn. This is a little bit unfortunate for SSounder. They do have 3 villages in those bottom 5. That means they have a lot of coppers. It's not, but it's pretty unlikely that they have 3 villages in the bottom 5 there. They do seem like they're fairly far ahead. I would consider for them Pilgrimage Shantytown here. They have 3 cards they want to Pilgrimage, certainly. Again, Shantytown's another village. It's very likely to be a lost city. All those reasons. The next turn they can double. They can buy Pilgrimage, and they could gain a Blessed Village, a Hunting Grounds, and a Horse Traders, which is going to be a pretty solid turn next turn. They may not hit any more than that because of all their draw was seen already. So, but, well, I guess if they don't see the Hunting Grounds, they can't double it. But next time they Pilgrimage, getting those 3 pieces seems pretty strong. So that's certainly what I want to be looking to do here as SSounder. Their bottom 5 is 2 Blessed Villages. I think they have a silver down there. Yeah, and the last village, as they had 3 villages in the bottom. So we're playing Stables here. There's some argument as to whether you play this Hideout. Yeah, there's some argument as to whether you play the Hideout. I'm not 100% on that. So this is 7. Probably you buy a Pilgrimage and get Stables, Horse Traders, Silver, and then buy the Shantytown. Does chat think I'm overestimating the quality of Shantytown in this board? I feel like Shantytown's doing a lot of stuff here, especially because you've got this Hideout you're playing anyways, and this Necropolis if you're SSounder. Like, it's not like you're going to draw the 1 Shantytown with Necropolis and be sad. You play, as if you draw just Shantytown Horse Traders in your turn, then you're a little bit sad because the Shantytown could have been something else. But if you draw Necropolis, Shantytown Horse Traders, you're pretty happy. Yeah, St. Carl, that was what I was thinking earlier. It was one of the ways you could do it. But you have to discard 2 things with coppers anyways. So if you're discarding and you've got extra villages, Jay has 1 extra village. SSounder has, actually I just believe 1 extra village still. But you do have an extra village, so it's likely to work. So you don't need another Hideout, right? So it's pretty easy. You take Stables, Horse Traders, Silver. I say as they buy another Hideout. I don't know what we're trashing with that other Hideout. The cards that are on the Native Village map, the cards I want to be trashing, the Hovel and the Overgrown Estate, and then the Curse. I think we can jettison this Necropolis as SSounder. 5 is a little bit sad. We don't have any villages down there either. This is a very, very bad draw for SSounder. I guess we take the Pilgrimage now, because next turn we're likely to only have 1 action in play. So we take Blessed Village, Horse Traders, Silver, and next turn hopefully hit 4 after playing the Rabble or Hunting Grounds, depending on which we play. Yeah, I guess SSounder needs to consider not triggering this shuffle here. I believe probably this shuffle they should not trigger either. They should just, again, that's why I wanted them to pilgrimage last turn, so that this turn, that's going to be basically a dud turn. They can just pilgrimage on it, and since they didn't have any actions in play, they're not super worried about it. We have just trashed too much stuff here. This order was bad. If we played the horse traders first, well, maybe I don't know. Jay just trashed a ton of stuff, though. They're not going to hit the price points that they need to hit, I don't think. We'll see. So they discard 2 coppers, draw with Shanty. Yes, they discard horse traders copper here. Draw, discard 2 coppers. They get to 8 and 2 buys. I guess this should be pilgrimage and blessed village. And this turn, look to trash the hideout to the hideout. That seems like what needs to happen. They have 3 stables and only 3 treasures in the deck, which feels very, very concerning to me. Yeah, and as SSounder, we knew we had this dud coming up. Again, I would have pilgrimaged last turn to gain 3 actions. So that would have been Blessed Village, Horse Trader, Silver. And this turn we could have bought another pilgrimage. So this upcoming turn where we look to get both a Blessed Village and Rabble or Hunting Grounds into play, then do pilgrimage again for value. And here we discard everything except for 1 Rabble, I guess. Well, you've got 4 villages in the bottom 7. So you could keep 2 Rabbles. You could keep 2 Rabbles, I guess. I think I would discard all but 1 Rabble, though. Just to guarantee I see a village. And then we've got 2 cantrips down there we're likely to draw back around. The cantrips being the blessed villages, not... SSounder's still in good shape, even with that issue I pointed out. Again, as Jay, I'm just playing hideout, trashing hideout here, pretty confidently. Trashing copper is way too greedy, or way too... I don't even know how to describe it. It's setting yourself up for a staple stud, is what I'll say. So here, horse traders can discard horse traders silver. We can draw it with stables, and then horse traders can discard. Sorry, you might as well discard horse traders. It doesn't matter here. Yeah. So this is the issue with having these 2 hideouts and not a blessed village is we're now a little bit stuck. We don't get a silver in play, so this pilgrimage is a little bit sad. We really want to have a blessed village that we can pilgrimage, because the 4th stables doesn't seem like it does very much, given that we have only 3 treasures. I guess they bought another silver. Okay, so we found our villages, and we get 2 more village plays to see if we find our Rabble or our hunting grounds. Okay, so this is a big turn here for SSounder. They can play the horse traders now, discard 2, and then draw it all. And they'll be able to get a big pilgrimage where they can gain like Blessed Village. Yeah, so I guess the pilgrimage you can gain. They can undo that so they don't play all their treasures, because I think I want to do pilgrimage and gain Blessed Village, hunting grounds, horse traders, and then their deck could definitely support stables. They've got enough treasures. As another unique, they are close. They are slightly tight on villages now too. But I think a stables here I could be argued into. Another hunting grounds doesn't seem terrible. Another blessed village honestly doesn't seem too bad. They went with the stables. All right, so Jay last turn added stables, Caravan, Hideout. They do have a bit more draw this turn. We'll see if they're able to arrange it so that they're able to play both these horse traders. So again, we're hideout, trashing hideout, horse traders, discarding. So if we discard horse traders and stables, right, that's the best thing to do. And then Shantytown draws them both up, and then horse traders discard stables copper. That seems like the best drawing line here, unless I'm missing something. If we horse traders discard 2 coppers, we can draw it with the stables, but then we're just discarding. Yeah, okay. So the 2 lines don't seem to make a difference. I think we draw a deck both ways and have to discard 1 copper. So yeah, hideout, trash, hideout, which is a really sad use of one of our pilgrimage games. If that had been a Blessed Village, we could be in much better shape. We just wouldn't need to play the second hideout. Yeah, so I think Jay was certainly in decent shape. The second hideout, I think, really pushed them quite a bit further behind. And SSounder had a pretty big dud there. This I'm not understanding. The second hideout is just a bad card for their deck. Like they have 4 stables and only 3 treasures, and I assume they're going to buy a treasure here. So this could be like Pilgrimage, Silver, Blessed Village. You really want to add some villages to the deck that aren't hideouts, so that's what I'm looking at here. Pilgrimage, Silver, Blessed Village. You do need to add more treasures for your stables. Then next turn you can Pilgrimage and gain like a Blessed Village. Stables, Caravan, something like that. I think they need to add a little bit of payload with the silver. I don't know that they could support another horse traders. They really can't support any more terminals. So they need to add at least 1 treasure here and pilgrimage. So that could be gold pilgrimage, or it could be, as I said, silver pilgrimage, and then I suppose Blessed Village is the best for. Again, they want to have villages that aren't hideouts that they can play. And then next turn, look to pilgrimage and gain stables, Blessed Village, horse traders, I suppose would be the 3. I really do like using horse traders, using pilgrimage to gain hunting grounds as the most expensive action, if you can get away with that. The problem with that line, St. Carl's, is you have to what do you discard to the last horse traders at the end? Oh, you're drawing. Yeah. I mean, I think this line worked. They did use every card in their deck. I think they could have had 1 more money by not trashing that last copper, though, so they'd have had 12. I'm not sure what I would have recommended with 12. The trashing of the hunting lodge, the native village, I guess, to me was the really weird spot for them. If they had 12 here, I might even recommend gold pilgrimage native village. I don't think melt is the right verb there. Pilgrimage gains 3 cards every other turn. It does give you pile pressure if you're the one with your pilgrim, your token down, your journey token down. That token there. But it's 3 gains every other turn, so it's not like the end of the world. Having an extra plus buy so you can do pilgrimage stuff lets you do stuff like buy. If you have 12, you could buy province pilgrimage every turn. They went hunting grounds. I don't like that. They drew deck last turn and played all their payload, and the issue was that they didn't have enough money. The issue was not that they didn't have enough draw. So this seems like they also had an issue with actions last turn. So this seems like they're setting themselves up for duds. But we'll see what SSounder is able to do. You can just play this Rabble first to draw. Or you can play them second. It doesn't really make a difference. We do see Rabble as an attack. So the advantage to stables over Rabble is Jay does get to now react to this horse traders, which is quite nice. Hunting ground is 7 hideout plays. Yeah, so if you trash, oh my goodness, if that's what they're doing, then wow, I'd really like to pilgrimage the hunting ground before I trash it once, I guess is my thinking. Okay, so SSounder draws deck here fairly easily. Fairly easily? Yeah, and they were able to play both. I mean, I guess it looks like they just drew deck exactly. So it's not like 100%. So I think they do need to build one more turn. They're also short actions, it looks like. So Blessed Village seems fine. Maybe you grab another Horse Traders here. Give you a little bit more buy and payload, especially if you're buying 4 and 5 costs. You've got more than enough money for that. It seems a touch early to go Province for SSounder, given that you feel like your deck is in much better shape. Yeah, so perhaps this turn they buy a bunch of extra stuff that they're now overdrawing, and then they start provincing next turn. Maybe they even start provincing this turn. Yes, so we can hide out a hunting grounds into a bunch of estates and slowly trash those. It just feels terrible to me to do that, especially with the only hunting grounds in your deck. I just don't know when we're ever playing this hunting grounds. And the Shantytown's not going to draw the way they've set this turn up. Yeah, so we can play the Shanty. We did draw the Horse Traders. If we didn't draw the Horse Traders, it would have been bad. I think we could have discarded 2 coppers and drawn in the other order, but I guess it ends up we top deck a copper in the other line, so this is fine. This is the turn I'd really like to have a Blessed Village that I could pilgrimage. So I assume they're going to pilgrimage here and gain Shantytown, Hunting Grounds, Shantytown, and Silver, I suppose, is honestly the card they need. They can't afford another terminal, and they need to add more payload. We saw SSounder had 16. Jay only has 11. So, yeah, I mean, Shanty, Hunting Grounds, Silver to me is the best set of 3. They add another Horse Traders, which is more terminals than they can support. Although they did buy a Blessed Village, so that solves at least one of those problems. This is why I wanted a Blessed Village so much earlier, so these turns when we're pilgrimaging, we could be gaining those. And then if we need to gain other ones, we can gain other ones. Have we seen Earth's Gift yet? Both players are playing all their treasures, not spending all their money and gaining Blessed Villages. It's really important that when Earth's Gift is around, you hold the copper in your hand if you can, so that if you draw Earth's Gift, you can then immediately discard that copper to get another Blessed Village or whatever the piece is that you need to add to the deck. Okay, so SSounder has mostly drawn deck here. Yeah, they're going to draw deck here. They can start discarding with Horse Traders. They're overdrawing by quite a bit here. There's not much thought that they need to put into the ordering as long as they end the turn with enough actions. They can even consider not playing this Hideout. They'll have 15 this turn, I believe. 14 this turn if they don't play the Hideout. Something like that, 15 or 14. We'll see once they draw. Yeah, so they've got 14. They would have had 15 if they didn't play the Hideout. Not sure if it matters. It probably doesn't. One thing, you can't do with stables. If your opponent is playing Rabbles and you've got a native village, you can always guarantee that you set aside a province at the beginning of your turn if they're playing a bunch of Rabbles. But since Jay's not playing Rabbles, it doesn't really come up for them. Blessed is nice. We'll take a free swamp. Hunting Grounds, Horse Traders. There's going to be 2 more Blessed Villages. This could be Blessed Village Gold. I kind of like Blessed Village Gold. We've overdrawing by a lot. We have the stables. The treasure's not as bad. Gold is a dense form of VP. I think Province there is fine too. I think they're far enough ahead that they can feel comfortable starting to green, and they've got overdraw. And sort of they'll buy Province plus Caravan plus Pilgrimage this turn. Caravan is just sort of an innocuous card. Maybe there's no reason to buy Caravan while there are still Blessed Villages though. And then next turn they can Province something, Pilgrimage to gain 3 cards, and then look to double Province. After that, I don't really feel like Jay is contesting that. I certainly would have not Provinced there. It seems too early. My deck is better, and I can just build and add more villages and reliability. And that's why I like the Caravans, because they had a little bit of reliability. There are extra actions you can play, and so on. Okay. So do we know that the bottom 3 cards don't have an action in them? If we do know that, which I believe we do, we can discard 2 actions here. Draw to the end of the shuffle. And yeah, then the discard could have been, I guess it would have been Horse Trader's Hunting Grounds. And we could have potentially top decked the Hunting Grounds, I guess. I think we could have gotten one more turn out of that, one more point out of that turn. If we played, but maybe it's only there's a small chance we could have gotten one more turn out of it. I think we're always clicking on Pilgrimage here, and then Silver Province. That gets us to 16 max payload. Actually 18 if we can draw a deck, and then we're not falling too far behind on provinces. Just about the first time this game I've actually predicted what the players are going to do. One nice thing about having the Hunting Grounds and the overdraw is that certainly SSounder can look to Hideout and trash Hunting Grounds for the duchies in the endgame. And we can continue to print Hunting Grounds with the Pilgrimage. They've also got 3 Horse Traders. They've got only 1 Hideout, but adding, getting an estate pile out is not impossible with the decks. With 3 Horse Traders and a Hunting Grounds, you can gain 6 estates. I guess 7 estates in a turn pretty easily. And so it's at least something to consider as we move towards the end game here. It looks like SSounder's got 10 cards of overdraw. Again, which is why I was suggesting they don't actually trash coppers here, because it doesn't seem like it's helping them. I don't see any reason to trash the Hunting Grounds right now. They're a comfortable lead. It's a draw card. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why they didn't play that horse. Why did they undo there? There's no reason not to play the Horse Traders right now. There's no reason to just not play both Horse Traders and discard 4 actions. And then maybe they want to discard Rabble, Hunting Grounds, and then draw with Hideout and hope to top deck one of the 2 draw cards with 7 villages. That seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, so if you Horse Traders and discard Rabble, Hunting Grounds, then draw with Hideout, you top deck one of the draw cards. That would be the reason I would think to do the undo. They did not trigger anything special. So, again, to me, this is Pilgrimage. I think you can go another Blessed Village. They've got a lot of terminal draw cards. So, just Pilgrimage, Blessed Village, Province, and feel fairly comfortable that your end game is going to involve you, probably Province Duchy next turn. And then, so if Jay Provinces next turn and you Province Duchy, then there's 3 provinces left in the pile. You're threatening double Province, and Jay can't really touch Province, so Jay's got to try to go triple Duchy. And then you can go it's tough. You might have to go triple Duchy back, to be honest, but your deck feels like it can support triple Duchies quite a bit better. You can also start to consider crop rotation, but it just doesn't seem worthwhile. Both players happen to draw the province right if they bought it, but that's fairly unlikely, even as the number of provinces scales up. Huh. So playing without the pilgrimage line. Yes, the challenge here is if J doesn't double this turn, and SSounder doubles this turn, then how does J win? I have no idea. I have no idea how J would win then. I realize it's slow, but I just I don't see any like it doesn't seem like playing fast is worth that much to us. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a mistake. I'm just it's not the line I immediately would look at here. Especially with hunting grounds, in those cards you're gaining with pilgrimage is another hunting ground, maybe even another hideout if you really feel like it, and you could hide out, trash the hunting grounds for extra. Double and hope assumes that we can double, I think, is the problem here. I don't think that J can double. 11, 14. I guess they can't. They have to discard something with the horse traders. What do they have in the discard pile? 2 silvers, 3 silvers in the deck. Is it copper, silver, silver? They discard 2 coppers. They do just barely get to double. Yeah, I mean, as this turn plays out, double seems perfectly fine. SSounder really could have top decked Hunting Grounds or Rabble last turn if they wanted to. They just didn't play it. Okay, yeah. So we're getting to double barely. This is 17. I think I'd Province Duchy Pilgrimage here and gain a Hideout Hunting Grounds. Who knows? Hideout Hunting Grounds Horse Traders, I guess, as another blue card, as a gold basically, hopefully, and then look to try to trash 2 Hunting Grounds with hideouts next turn to get 2 duchies. So Province Duchy gets you to 15. So SSounder double provinces, they get to 30. And then you can get province, 3 duchies, and an estate. That seems doable if you trash 2 hunting grounds into duchies. You just need to get to 18, which the 3rd hunting grounds should get you to. Yeah, so hideout, hunting grounds, maybe even just like a silver as not needing to discard. I'm speaking, how do I say this thing, Carl? I'm speaking optimistically, like, here's a turn they could have that's good for them, and here's how I could win if they have that turn. If SSounder does province, duchy, estate, then it is a lot harder for you to win, certainly. But they've also had to trash some of their stuff into estates, into duchies, so trashing of the hunting grounds means their deck's not quite as good. That being said, they overdrew by 7 last turn. 9. They overdrew by 10. They overdrew by a lot. So, and another reason I wanted to take another hideout for SSounder last turn. But I think the double province puts them in the best spot. So Forest Gift is mediocre. Yeah, I think they need to take hideout hunting grounds now, province duchy. It at least puts SSounder into a spot where they've got to take double province duchy. And can J get to province buying, trashing 2 hunting grounds for 2 duchies, and then buying province duchy estate? That's 20. They hit 17 this turn. Doesn't seem possible. I mean, I guess they take hunting grounds horse traders. They've got the +1 coin. They should have estates at the end of the turn that they can discard with the horse traders. Like it seems at least in the realm of possibility. Good question, Andy. What is this match being played to? We will have to ask someone who is a moderator for this tournament. And the moderator for this tournament will say, let me go check the pinned posts. The finals will be first to 3.5 or first to win a game if game 7 is a tie. All playoff matches must be announced and are strongly encouraged to have commentary. That's me. Yeah, I didn't like taking the blessed there. I think it seems tough for them to win now. but we'll see. We're certainly playing Rabbles first here, as we're definitely planning on trashing 100 grounds for a duchy during this turn. That being said, Jay did not take a duchy there. So like even just simple double provincing is very close to winning. Always leading on this Will-O-Wisp, I assume. Don't really see any reason to not play it. Yeah, so double province and then trash 100 grounds into a duchy is going to be more than enough. I mean, we're playing the Wisp anyways. I think we're going to play the Wisp at some point. So the question is, was SSounder thinking about playing a Rabble versus 100 grounds because they wanted to inspect further into their deck? And if they're concerned about, if they're saying, I don't want to play my 100 grounds because I want to gain a duchy, then, but I need to draw a deck, they might be thinking, what if I don't have a village until the very bottom of my deck, but Wisp draws a card and reveals a card, so it gives you more info in that turn play order. If that's why they stopped to think there. I'm not really sure why they stopped to think at that point. I normally click on the cards that say plus action first. If you had like a stables and you're discarding copper, if you have 2 stables and you're discarding coppers, then you can know that the bottom 2 cards of your deck are coppers and play Wisp and guarantee to draw a copper. But since there's only 1 copper in the deck and only 1 stables, you can't really do that. Okay, I'm going to assume that that's winning here. Yeah, I think SSounder forgot about the attack part of Rabble. That is a quite sad decision to have to make to discard the horse traders in the hideout. It's not clear to me if that was required or not, but it is sad to have done. Yeah, and yeah, I assume they just, in the course of, the length of the game, sort of forget that the hideout effect of forget that Rabble has attack written on the bottom. As like you mostly just do the +3 cards and there's that long part about the attack. Well, we can hideout trash hunting grounds for a duchy, hideout trash hunting grounds for a duchy, or there's just not enough VP left. I think if they'd gotten a duchy last turn and 1 more horse trader. So we can count that out, right? If they had a duchy last turn and 1 more horse traders here in hand, so they'd have one less card in hand. Like the copper would be in the discard, and they would have another horse traders. They could have gotten to 18. They could have gotten to 20, which would have been province, double duchy, estate. I mean, I think if they bought duchy last turn if they gained duchy last turn instead of blessed village, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're able to draw enough. I don't think that a line for them last turn could have gotten them there. They would have had a little bit more VP, but it would have been harder for them to draw, and they needed all the actions and stuff to draw and get through the deck. As it is, SSounder's got a very, very, very high likelihood of being able to draw through here, but they can just play villages and draw cards, and they've got 6 right now, so they're about to find 8. As soon as they see another blue card or yellow card. And this is the last province for them. They're going to do some other stuff too, but essentially they've got the win here, and we're tied at 2 going into game 5.